Hey guys, it's me, it's Queen auset-heru, and thank you for joining me for another wonderful edition of Ask an Aquarius. If you haven't already, please hit the red subscribe button and smack the bell. Also, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, pass it on to somebody else who might like it too, and don't forget to drop us a positive comment in the comment section. And stick around to the end of the video because I'm going to read 2 of my favorite positive comments from previous videos, and maybe one of them is yours. Also, don't forget guys, underneath every video is all my information. How to contact me if you want a reading, you can email me. All of my social media information is there. How you can order Ask an Aquarius merchandise is there. My Patreon link, if you want to become a patron, I'll be eternally grateful. You know that gifts are my love language, so my Amazon wish list is there in case you want to send me a present. A whole bunch of stuff is underneath there, so anything you're interested in knowing about me, please check it out. I'm all over social media in case you guys want to chat, okay? All right, guys, so we're going to talk about something that's really interesting to me, right? Oh my God. When I finish doing this video, if I remember, I'm going to put this video that I'm going to reference underneath this video too. So I'm going to put a link to this video underneath here at the top. I was on YouTube, and I have a tendency to watch certain YouTubers, and one of them is an Aquarius. Several of them are Aquarius, actually. And this one particular guy, his name is Pierre XO, and I'll put his information again underneath this video. Pierre is amazing to me. He's Aquarius. He is of Asian descent. He has a very interesting look to him, and he's smart as a whip. And I don't even think he's that old. I mean, he's wise like an old man. I love listening to Pierre. So the other day, a video came up, and it was talking about why he as a man does not discuss he doesn't discuss his feelings. He doesn't discuss his emotions. He doesn't get emotionally vulnerable with his lovers. And I don't, maybe nobody else, maybe certain people, but he didn't say that. He just said that he avoids being emotionally vulnerable, and he was talking specifically about with women that he's been with. So it said on it, the reason why I don't share my feelings or something like that. And when I first read it, I rolled my eyes because I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I've seen a lot of videos about men whining about how they can't do this or they can't do that because women won't let them do blah, blah, blah. And honestly, I have a tendency to skip those videos because I feel like either way, male or female, if either one of them is whining and complaining about the other sex, 9 times out of 10, it's usually some BS, especially when a man talks about why he doesn't share his feelings. 9 times out of 10, it's some bullshit, usually. But I like Pierre, and I know Pierre is wise. So I was like, maybe this video, I'll learn something. You know, that's me. I always want to learn something. So I was like, I'm going to listen. I'm going to give this brother a listen because maybe I'll learn something. And I did. Boy, did I learn something. So what he said was, I mean, it's a long video, so you can watch it yourself. But basically what he said is that women do not really want a man who is emotionally vulnerable. Now, when he said that, I was like, yes, we do. We do want a man that's emotionally vulnerable. But then the more he talked, I realized that it wasn't actually what we want. He said that women don't want an emotionally vulnerable man. Women want an emotionally intelligent man. And he went on to explain how these are 2 different things. And he said that there have been times in his life when he's been with a woman, and she said to him, you know, share your feelings, you know, share with me. What are you thinking? What are you feeling? And Pierre said he would go into what he really was feeling. And the woman, and of course, this is not going to be all women, but because I wouldn't do this to a person. But he said that the woman he was talking about was like, oh, well, why are you taking things so personal? And like, she really just belittled his feelings and basically told him to man up. That's basically what she said to him. She kind of belittled his feelings and told him to man up. And then he said that he asked other men, when you are emotionally vulnerable with a woman in general, Did it pay off or did it make things worse? And in his comment section, the guys were saying it really does make things worse, or it's the same kind of reaction that Pierre got. The person is like, the woman is like, you need to just man up, like seriously. And I was listening to him and I was like, wow, I would never say that to a man or a woman that was telling me their feelings. If somebody was telling me how they felt about something, I generally listen. I generally just try to listen. And then I ask them, do you want me to just listen or do you want me to respond? Do you want to talk about solutions or do you want to just vent? I always ask that question and then we go from there. So I never would say, oh, just man up. I mean, I think that's awful for anybody, male or female, to say to a person. And he said, what women really want is emotional intelligence. They want you to understand how they feel. And when he said that, I was like, guilty as charged. I was like, I'm guilty as charged. And a lot of women I know are guilty as charged. It's not so much that we want. Some women do. Some women do want their man to be emotionally vulnerable, talk about his feelings. Some women do want that. I can't get up here and say none of us want that. Don't ever do that. But what I can say is that most women who talk to me about wanting emotional availability or vulnerability from their man, what they really say when they start talking, because I'll say, well, what does that look like? What does it look like for him to be emotionally vulnerable or emotionally available? And what they say to me is, well, he understands my feelings. He talks about his feelings. But the first one is he understands me. So what you really are saying is that you want him to understand your emotions. You want him to understand why you feel a certain way and act a certain way, and then him behave accordingly. So these women, and eventually some of them do get to wanting, more emotional vulnerability. But I think that what we really want is emotional intelligence, because like I said in the beginning of this video, when other men talk about, like, I'm thinking about times that men have gotten emotionally vulnerable with me. It wasn't a negative, but that's me. Other men are telling me stories about women when they did get emotionally vulnerable, how they responded. And I know this to be true because I remember one day I was talking to this woman one time, and she was telling me about how she had this new boyfriend. And she was talking about how he yak. Girl, he always yakking. I get tired of listening to how he feel. And I was cracking up because of the way that she said it. But it's absolutely not funny, because what you're saying is, and what we say as a society to men is, you cannot have your feelings. You cannot express your feelings. And then we turn around and say, tell me how you feel. So we're telling them not to, then we tell them we want it. What I'm saying is that we giving them a mixed message. You see? Because we're telling them, okay, I want you to be emotionally available. I want you to be emotionally vulnerable. But at the same time, some of us, when they are doing that, are not receiving it like that. We're not receiving their hurt. We're not receiving their pain. And we're not talking to them about it. Then when they do some tyrant shit, when they do something that's messed up, or they cheat, or they abuse us, or something like that, then we're like, see, that's how y'all are. But the truth of the matter is that if you keep on not allowing or discouraging a person from tapping into their feelings, 9 times out of 10, they become a tyrant. So our society is telling men to man up, and and you guys know what I'm talking about. Those types that are like, man up and don't be a pussy, and those kind of people that would say that to somebody, male and female, are the ones who are continuing to perpetuate this same energy. So what I got from that, and what I wanted to give to you guys, is that if we expect men to be more emotionally vulnerable and available and intelligent, we can't penalize them or not care, or give them some flip answer when they do it. We have to encourage them from the time that they're little boys. We have to encourage little boys to talk about their feelings. You see, we have to encourage that behavior, that communication, if that's really what we want. And if we as a society really do want emotionally intelligent people, then we have to do that with everybody, male and female. We have to give people the space to talk about their feelings, and we shouldn't tell a little boy, man up, stand up, don't cry, that kind of stuff, because you're not doing anything. But like, remember a long time ago, they were talking about pit bulls, and everybody was saying how dangerous pit bulls were, and I was really scared of them. And I came to find out from dog breeders that pit bulls and other, dogs that are known to be vicious really aren't born like that. They're born like any other puppy, playful and whatever the case is. And that these breeders or these fighters teach them to be mean by doing certain things to them, like beating them or, making them fight other dogs and things like that. So when you take it and you look at it from a society angle, that means that we are teaching men to be this way. We are encouraging them to be a certain type of way. The ways that we don't like is our fault as a society, male and female. We groom them this way. And then when they act out, we're like, oh, how could he behave that way? That's how he was groomed. He wasn't allowed to talk about his feelings. You made it sound like it was, either funny or negative or whatever when he did tap into that space. And this is, like I said before, it's not just men, it's men and women. I've seen women do this to their sons. And I'm sitting there looking like, I ain't gonna say nothing because that's your child. I mean, if you're abusing your child in front of me, I'm gonna say something. But in this kind of case, because this is kind of abuse, to me, this is abusive. But if I see a woman tell her son, oh, get up, man up, it's not something that I probably would speak on back in the day. But I think now it is something that we should all speak on. Like, wait a minute, well, let him express his feelings. Don't just tell him to stand up and suck it up. Let him express his feelings, even if it's behind closed doors. People need some place to express their emotions. So women, I think that a lot of times what we're really asking for is emotional intelligence, which is also important. I want somebody who's emotionally intelligent, but I also want somebody who feels comfortable to be emotionally available and emotionally vulnerable. So women and men, if we want to raise better children, better grandchildren, a better world, we really have to look at how we discourage that behavior. Okay? All right, guys. Now let's take a look. Carly Lester left us a message. Carly said, okay, I finally met an Aquarius man. Okay. He and I are both positive Aquarius, and we are taking it slow because we both know how that energy will be. This is very intelligent. This is very intelligent. I always recommend when you meet a new suitor, you meet a new lover, always take it slow. I always say this, don't have sex 90 days or more. Take it slow, spend time, go bowling, do stuff together. I know right now we're in a situation where some things aren't open, but do things together and get to know that person slowly. Because a lot of times, I swear to you guys, I probably would still be a virgin. if I had done like the old-fashioned courting process, I think I'd still be a virgin. Because it's not until after the fact that you really see a person's true colors. So if you slow down and watch, you might see that before you have some type of irreversible bond. That's the thing. All right, we got one more from Hey. Hey, stop it. That's so cute. Hey, stop it says, I am Pisces, and one thing that you would know if you meet me is that I am a softie and I am shy. I think a lot of Pisces deep down inside are softies. I'm not sure if they're all shy. I think a lot of them are introverted. From the ones that I know are introverted, definitely. And a lot of them are soft in that way. Some of them don't show it, but I have seen that vibration coming from Pisces. So yeah, I can definitely see that. Pisces are really cool. I like Pisces. I just don't get along with them in relationships. Romantic relationships don't work. I dated a Pisces for my very first serious relationship was with a Pisces. Until this, like until I left the country, he was still trying to get back with me, and it was just like, and it wasn't that. I mean, he had a good emotional balance. I like those things about him. What I didn't like about him, and the reason why I would never go back to him, was he was so immature. Even as a man, he was immature when we were kids and dating, and he never broke out of that immaturity. So even if I was dating men, which I don't, I wouldn't have chosen him. I can't be with somebody who's immature. You know, I like to laugh, I like to joke, I like to, do that kind of stuff. I like comedians and stuff, but I don't like somebody who's constantly immature, constantly playing too much. I don't like pranks. I hate pranks and stuff like that he would do. And I'm just like, I could never seriously be with him on any way. All right, guys, it's time for us to get going. So please come back soon because I have a lot more to say. See you later.